Spa Francorchamps, the legendary racetrack constructed all the way back in 1921 in the middle of the Belgian Ardennes, host to some of the most prestigious motorsport series in the world. The same track that hosted Michael Schumacher's first F1 debut in 1991 and his maiden win in 1992. The track which has given us many legendary battles between some of the all-time greats, but sadly also many tragic incidents. On the 1st of April this year, we took it upon us and many more like-minded enthusiasts to drive the track with our self-built cars. Sadly, not all of them survived. Now sit back, relax, and come join us on this unforgettable track day on Belgium's most famous racetrack.
Yo, ready for Spa? The car is on the trailer. My Jeep's right there, my Tiguan. Just gonna show you real quick. Whoop, there we go, flipped it around. Yeah, car on the trailer already. I cleaned it after the last track day on Zolder actually, but yeah, there it is. And then obviously got all the essentials here. I don't know, I usually just take things like, I have my jack over there, a little oil pan, some basic tools, and then in there's all the kind of stuff like oil and coolant and I don't know, some spark plugs, you know the deal. Things that I could potentially help myself with, but yeah, I don't want to rebuild my car in the garage there. And then here, some obviously the bare essentials like some food and all that stuff. So yeah, we're ready for Spa. It's like something past 4 now. I'm just gonna go inside real quick, get my clothes, and then we're off to Spa. It's like an hour of a drive for me. We've got a house booked there. We're gonna get some dinner tonight, and then tomorrow early up, because at 7 we can already go into the terrain, and then we can load off the car, do all that kind of stuff. The weather forecast is looking great, 13 degrees and sun, so let's hope for the best tomorrow. And yeah, just real quick, look at the load shift on the Tiguan there. Yeah, it's the rear springs, they're fine, but obviously the car's on a little bit of an incline right now, so it's kind of crooked, but looks a bit odd, to be honest. It doesn't have any air suspension, it's just on springs. But honestly, it drives fine. I don't have any more than 100 kilograms on the ball joint there, on the towing hook. And yeah, the car's allowed, I think, like 2.5 tons. And this is like 1700 kilos at most. So yeah, always looks a bit odd. Especially when like driving at night. Sometimes it blinds other people, I guess. But yeah, luckily that doesn't happen too often. It's like a free lowering kit for the rear. Look at that.
Everything loaded up and ready, it was finally time to leave for Belgium. The way to Spa itself is already a highlight of the trip for me. There's absolutely beautiful motorways that go straight to the Belgian Ardennes. Just like this one actually, that goes all the way down and then back up again. Definitely one of my favorite parts of the trip. We booked a small house in Stavelot, right next to the track itself, had some burgers for dinner and then called it a night. Because the next morning we were getting up early again to leave for Spa. It was quite a cold morning actually, around -1 degree. Most of the cars were actually frozen as well. Luckily it was only a 5-minute commute to the track from my house, but still enough time for a small coffee and a pain au chocolat.
Good frosty morning to everyone. We're here at Spa, as you can see. Super sunny, beautiful weather outside. Already parked up the cars in the pit box. It's -3 at the moment, but like the views are just insane. I mean, just look at this. Now, isn't that just absolutely beautiful? When it's like frosty and clear like this at Spa, you just know it's gonna be a beautiful day with sun, no clouds on the sky, all the cars are frozen, but that will fix itself by like 9 AM. Gonna like settle ourselves in the pit box now, and then we're going to registration, and I think the first sighting laps are like at 9, and then it's open track day. There's like loads of people coming today, loads of Renault Sport guys and good friends, and it seems, or it looks like it's going to be a really good day, so I'm super excited for that.
Beautiful Lotus Exige 410 Cup and a 997.2 GT3 RS, two of my absolute dream cars. And here's us, eagerly waiting for the briefing at the track to open. We had some pretty interesting pitbox neighbors. I think they were called Era Motorsport, and they brought 2 Ferrari 296 GT3s to this track day. It was amazing to see them set the cars up and keep them running over the day. And then just listen in to the peace and quiet before the storm. The first cars already went out on the laps, but I waited a little bit for everyone to spread out more over the track before I hopped into the Megane with my good friend Daniel, who had a couple of funny words to say after our first laps together. Here we are then, leaving the pit lane onto the track. We did a slow outlap first, and after that we had a good run for a couple of laps. I'll let the segment play out so you can enjoy the laps. The audio is coming from the rear GoPro, since that kit just captured the exhaust sound way better. Enjoy! After those super fun laps with Daniel in the passenger seat, I kind of wanted to go out alone and just see what's possible for the day. I kind of just wanted to get that best lap of the day out of my head really early, because that's something I'm always trying to go for. And it was still quite cold and good temperature, good conditions in the morning. So I just wanted to go for that best lap of the day, and I'm going to show you and talk you through it right now. As the timer counts down, on the main straight we pass one of our friends here in the Twingo RS, looking for the 100 meter board on the left hand side. Brake to third gear, then flick it, hit the apex, bit of curb there, then early back on the throttle, check if no one's exiting the pit lane, that's fine. Here we are going down into 5th gear on the Oru/Radio section. Very exciting to drive this. Brake just before the curb, and then flick the car in, and then a bit early on the throttle before going uphill, so you carry most of the speed and not bleed it off too much. Indicating right here because a GT3 is about to pass us. That's very weird to share the track with cars like this, but also a very cool experience. Camel straight, very long, not much to do here. Brake just before the curb starts and then throw it into 4th gear. Throttle it to the apex here, and then for this next left hander, a little bit of lift off to position the car as much to the left as possible for this right hander again. Now we are going down into the hairpin, 5th gear for now, and then again look for my brake marker. I took a wide approach here because that seemed to work best, because I can then take a late apex and the car is already a lot on the right side here. For no name, dab on the brakes, let the rear come around over the curb, and now we're going downhill into Puhon, which was a pretty scary corner for me. I always thought the rear would be coming around, but yeah. 4th gear, slight braking, and then early on the throttle here before hitting the 2nd apex. I took it in 5th gear here. 4th would have probably been faster, but I didn't know that at the time. And we positioned the car all the way on the left for the pith path. 4th gear, braking hard here. Maybe a little bit too much for the ABS. Definitely lost some time there, and then again lift off for the left hander. Early on the throttle. Position the car all the way to the left and then hard on the brakes. You can hear the ABS struggling. Kept it in 4th, car is all the way on the white line, and then lift off for the main straight to Blanchimont. And now we are just chilling, waiting, flat out, very wide and modern track, so it doesn't feel like you're going that fast on these sections, but passing an MX-5 here, and then we position the car all the way on the right. Slight lift off, slight tap on the brake, 5th gear, early apex, turning a lot earlier than you would think actually for Blanchimont. And then we wait for the discoloring here. That's my brake marker, hard on the brakes, 3rd gear. Probably a bit too much speed, but it's fine. And lift off again for the bus stop, the 2nd left-hander. Early on the throttle, carry as much speed as I can. And that was the lap at 2 minutes 51. The best lap I could do that day. For me that was plenty, I had a lot of fun, and I had the best lap out of my head early in the day. A bit windy out here, but I hope it's fine. Yeah, amazing day at Spa. I mean, just look at this weather. Absolutely amazing on track. I've done like 20 laps now, maybe a bit more. Just took the lunch break. Car's all cooled down now. We're going back out in a couple of minutes. This one sadly died today on track. Sadly, Jaspers Clio 3 RS with a Megane engine died on track during a hot lap Luckily, he was able to go back to the pits after the engine started spewing oil all over the hood. He managed to get back to the pits, but the car was sadly done for the day. Later it turned out to be a molten piston, as you can see here, but the fun didn't end there for him. He took a lot of passenger laps with people and generally he had a really good time, so I respect him a lot for keeping the mood up and not being super sad for the rest of the day.
That's really a shame, but yeah, that's how it is sometimes.
Yes, very sad. Anyway.
I mean, just the weather is just fucking amazing. There's also a red built Megane RS there. I'm gonna show you some more of the track, probably some GoPros. I'm gonna try and film a little bit of the cars passing by. There's amazing cars today. There's like GT3 RSs and Lotus and really cool track tools and all that, so yeah. I'm gonna go back inside now, drive a little bit more, have some fun, hope nothing breaks, and I'll see you at the end of the day.
Join me for 2 more laps with some traffic during the track day. Super fun to drive these with my good friend Richard here on the passenger seat. At the end we were almost in for a personal best of the day, even faster than the lap I showed you before, even though we had a passenger. Sadly, things at the end didn't go as planned. It was still super fun to drive though. Enjoy. That's just how it goes sometimes. Yeah, we were up a couple of tenths at the end, it didn't work out. Watching back the laps, it looked like I was up and then down a couple of tenths in a lot of places, so it wasn't the cleanest laps after all. Bit of frustration at the moment, but that's fine, that's just how it goes. It was still super fun to drive, and Richard had some funny words to say at the end of the lap.
Some more laps on track, it's really fun. A couple of BMWs that really got in my way, like M2s, which are obviously way faster on the straight, but in the corners we were catching. And I guess you could see it on GoPro. It was a bit frustrating, but whatever. Gonna fuel up the car now, and then I'm gonna let my friend Daniel drive, and yeah, see how he has fun with that. Fuel prices are fairly decent. Can't complain about that, except if you're shooting the 102, that's like super expensive. 48 on the dot.
It was finally time for Daniel to drive my car as well on track. A small thank you for all the help and knowledge he's given me over the years in regards of Renault Sport and the good friendship we've built. Sadly his car wasn't ready yet, so I offered him, why don't you just buy a ticket and then you can just drive my car whenever you like, and so he did. But sadly, as these things go, when you offer someone else to drive your car, suddenly something breaks. So after a couple of laps we felt a weird vibration in the steering wheel and we decided to park the car back up. But I really hope that Daniel had at least a couple of moments of fun driving my car on track, because it's really the smallest thing I could give him back for all the good things he's done for me over the last years. Back in the pits, we jacked the car up, and here you can see the result of that. Sadly, the long drive shaft broke.
So that's the end of the day for me and for us. I think we're all going home except for a couple of guys. Sadly my long drive shaft broke. There's a lot of play in it, so I can't drive anymore, but still I did like 40-50 laps, so it's completely fine. Had a lot of fun, definitely a lot of fun. Amazing weather, still amazing. A lot of guys here. Sadly a couple of cars didn't really make it. I mean, mine didn't really make it till the end either, but yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it was a super fun day. I'm gonna show you around the paddock a little bit maybe, and yeah, then we're off to home. Gonna eat some good schnitzel somewhere on the way home and off to bed. I think the next track day for me is 12th of May again on Spa. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, don't really know what to say. It was a fun day. Gotta let it all sink in, and I'll see you in the next video.